So welcome to my photography journey, which is not really just beginning, but has been going on in no cohesive order or narrative. Got my SD jump off today. Yep. This was suggested to me by renowned photographer Shadi NYC of LR2 Studios in the Bronx, New York. He suggested this brand Prograde. He suggested a couple others, but this, I just like the name of it, the way he said it. And when he said it, I was like, yep. He said all the other ones, but the way he said Prograde, I liked it, and I was like, that's the one. That's what I'm gonna get. So I only got one. He told me to get two, but I just got a big one because it was expensive to me, and like I want to get some lenses. There's a lot of stuff I gotta get for this camera over here. One thing I gotta get is something to carry it in, because this is very distasteful. Carry your camera in a Harris Teeter bag. Yeah. Very distasteful. Very, very distasteful. Especially for such a nice camera, you know? It's the FujiFilm X-T3, which you done know. So we're gonna make this do what it do, baby. Yeah. I'm gonna get my first camera that I ever had. Alright, it was under the microphone thing. Now this is a bag. This bag right here I got from like a military supply surplus place. And this bag right here I got from a military supply surplus store in Durham, North Carolina. And this strap went to my Nikon. I had a super dope Nikon. That's what this strap went to. Somehow, my Nikon disappeared, and my Canon, I had a Canon that my brother-in-law gave me, but that disappeared too, mysteriously, after my brother asked me, where you know where I can go to sell a camera? Wildin', right? But yeah, this was my first camera that I ever got. This was from a person who was very dear to me, Kirsten Westcott. She was my photography teacher in high school, Northern High. And this camera, man, was definitely my favorite camera that I ever had. The way that it worked was just, that's crazy. The battery still works. This battery inside this camera is over 20-something years old. I don't know if you can see what I see inside the viewfinder, but let me see if I can make you see. So when you kind of depress it, yeah, you see that? That means you need to open it up. Open up the aperture a little bit, you know? And then there you go. And then as you see, when it gets green, see, I'm just doing this a while. Then it's good. Then light meter. That's the light meter. Okay, so I needed to close the aperture a little bit. And then there, once it's like that, it's ready to go. Then you shoot it, you know? So that's what I really liked about this. It had a light meter in it. Has a light meter in it. This camera, I got this camera in 1995. 1995. It's an excellent camera. It makes me feel good to just have it in my hand. I feel like Peter Parker, you know? Yeah. But the cool thing about this camera, like I said, I remember when I got this camera, she was talking about the future of cameras. This is a lens camera. I mean, what you call it? It's a single lens reflex, but that's not what I was trying to say. I was trying to say it's a film camera. There's a film playing on it. So the cool thing about this, the way this works is light goes into the aperture. The aperture is behind the lens, and it goes into it. It lands on the back of the film plane. It tries to mirror the way your eyes work, and it creates what is called a latent image. It's called a latent image, but it's actually the reality of things. A latent image means upside down and reverse. When you develop the film, the latent images on that film are called negatives because it's the opposite of what you see. It's the opposite of what your brain tells you that you're seeing. It's a latent image, so it's upside down and reverse, the exact opposite, which is a negative, right? Now, the interesting thing about it is that these things were designed to operate the same way that your eyes operate, meaning what you really see is upside down and reverse. You're actually walking on the ceiling. Yep. The case is that everything you see is upside down and backwards. That's why when you're a baby, before you're being born, you're hanging in there like a bat upside down. It's amazing. And the camera catches that, and then you develop it. So film, the very first camera, when I took this class, it was a box, a photo paper box. Photo paper boxes are very similar to like a jewelry box, where it has a top on it that covers everything. It's light tight. So then we put a pinhole. We cut a little square out, put aluminum foil, and literally took a pin, like a needle that you sew with, pierced it in the middle, pierced the aluminum foil in the middle, and we created a shutter. So the hole is the aperture, and the aperture lets the light in, and the shutter shuts the light out. So when you take a picture and it makes that sound, that sound, like that sound right there, what just happened, and this is a slow shutter speed, you can hear that. What just happened is the light went in and it blocked it out. So it was like, that's what just happened. So during that time that the light went in, it collected information from the light. Because as you know, all you're really seeing, like these colors, are just the colors that are allowed to escape this garment. You know what I'm saying? So everything is just the light reflecting off of the surface, and that's what creates the shapes that you see. You know, that's what creates your vision, light. So that's what just happened. And so the first camera is called the camera obscura. We made it with a little box, took some straight up photo paper, taped it on the back of the plane in a dark room, of course, and then literally manually lifted up the shutter. I'll make one and show you a demonstration. And we just did that, and we just had our own exposures with like 8 seconds. We'd sit the box still, open it, 8 seconds. If you were in a dark place, open it for longer. And that's how we learned how to take pictures like that first, and then she let us get our hands on equipment, you know. And she actually liked me. She thought I had a lot of talent, and she gifted this to me, and I still have it, and I'm always gonna have it probably. So, you know, it's my favorite teacher, and my favorite camera. Yep. So yeah, that's a little history on those things. Another thing to note about the camera obscura, the very first camera obscuras were rooms. Just like they say the first computer was the size of a room. And who knows what the first computer really was with all the Tartarian, Atlantean technology that people are finding. But they say that the first cameras in ancient Egypt, because that's where, being in the United States, that's where time starts for us, is ancient Egypt. And so Those cameras, they were whole rooms. They were the size of a room, and it had like a little door, like a little hole. And they would build the room, light tight, take a canvas or a cloth, put it on the back wall, and you see that square behind me, that square of light behind me? It'd be something like that, right? And they just open and close that. And they would open it, and when they opened it, the image would blast onto the canvas, and the artist would be in there tracing the image, drawing the picture. And of course, it was upside down and backwards. And please excuse my voice. It's been a little taxed from whatever kind of, I don't know. It's a lot. It's a sinus infection. I think I probably need to go get like a neti ball, a neti pot, I think they call it. Alright, so yeah, I know it's a popular thing to do in unboxing, but shit, I already took it out the box. It came in the box, and now it's not in it, okay? So, obviously, I unboxed it. But, if I did show you the unboxing, the package is dope, man. It's like really super protective. It's like something that James Bond would have. There's like something really important on this thing. So, looking at it, it kind of goes in exactly how it looks right there. So that means like that. You see? Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, like that there. And it makes that sound when you got it right, so listen. So it's dual slots, I could put 2 of them in there. But again, you saw it, it's a 256. So I got one right now. I'll put another one in there when it's time. And there we go, off to the races. Let's see what we can do. Oh, probably help a lot to take the lens cap off. And you see some light just come out, it's like, whoa! Hilarious. Alright, cool. So let's make some magic. Alright, so now that I got the actual SD card in there, I'm going to have to format it. I was trying to go through the whole settings and all that stuff to try to find that. Couldn't find it in here, no way. But now I found it, and you have to hold down. I had to go to YouTube University, and they said hold down the trash button, which I'm doing. And I don't see nothing happening for me. So let me go back to the display. Now I'm gonna hold down the trash button. Alright, well, that's not working out for me. Oh, cool. That's the first picture I took. Yeah, so I still don't know exactly what I'm doing here. I'll have to figure that out. So the crazy thing is, I think it's already formatted. I didn't have to format it. I don't know if I like that. I see the battery. But when I went in there, I pressed the button, and it was like slot 1. It shows the disc up there like that. If you look at the very top, right there, right beside the RAW, you see the Bluetooth thing at the very top. And if you look over to the right, you'll see that number 1, and then you'll see 6926, and then RAW on it. That slot number 1 says that there's a card in there, but I never had to format it, so I don't know. Now, I did take a picture, and I took a picture through the app on the phone. It was a blurry picture. It was horrible. You saw it. And I just deleted it. But, yeah. So, I'm going to go ahead and charge the battery and then take some practice shots. It's, like, dark outside, so I'll take some inside maybe. And then, because it takes like an hour and a half for the battery to charge up. And then maybe I'll wake up early in the morning and go out, you know, before the sun gets high in the sky. So I found out where and how to format it. I hope you can see it, because I see that the light's kind of in the way, but it's in user settings. And there it goes. So I got something in slot 1. That's the only place. Format card in slot 1, okay. Yes. And there we go. So here's an example of some of the first photos that I've taken ever since I installed the SD. I use the app to export them to the phone. Everything is automatic aperture, autofocus, automatic shutter speed, so I don't know any of the exposure times or anything, but I suspect that quality will get better over time.